All right, hi everybody. Sean Nelson here with the new On the Big Band premiere of Meatspace. All right, so it's been kind of a weird time. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you that, but it's kind of a weird time for everybody. And I know I'm feeling a little unsettled, and I'm looking for a way to connect with everybody. And this is kind of what we got right now. So I think it's kind of fun to do it live like this. Ultimately, this is just a 4-minute video, and I'm kind of milking it for all it's worth, really, because I'm excited about it, and I want to talk about kind of how it all came together and what's it all about. So this is a way for me to present it, and I don't know, one of my favorite ways to say listen to music is to besides going to concerts, which I miss that, but having friends over and listen to music together. And so I think this is cool. We can all listen to music together. So this is, why do this video? It's this is a way to connect with everybody in the band. The last time the new On the Big Band played, it was middle February, and it just feels like an eternity. And so it's a chance for us to kind of play together and feel connected. I know in the process, basically, I wrote a tune and asked everyone to record it at home and take a little video. And as they've been sending me the videos, I kind of watch them. I don't haven't sit down and watch all of them all the way through necessarily. As we edit them, I see them all. But I've enjoyed seeing everybody's video and just seeing their face. And sometimes I'll just say, "Hey, Sean, how you doing?" And then it's fun. I really enjoy that part of it. But so it's a way we're making connections. It's a way for us to connect with the audience again. I mean, we haven't played since February, and it's just it kills us as musicians to be disconnected and to not be able to perform. So in this weird roundabout way, we're playing together again. I wanted to write. I feel some bottled up creative energy. Like I have these melodies bounce around in my head. I wanted to play trombone. I wanted to write music. I wanted to improvise. So I know everyone in the band is feeling the same way. So it's a way for us to create music again. And on a totally selfish note, it was a way for me to feel a sense of fulfillment, to have a project, a big goal to go after. And as soon as, by the way, it's Tom Brown's idea. Tom plays trumpet in the band, and he sent me an email and was like, "Hey, I can do a video if you're up for it." And I was like, "Great, I'm gonna write a tune," and I did. And I was as soon as I saw that, I read the email before I went to bed, and I went to bed with this melody bouncing around in my head, and I was like, "That's it." It just all came together very naturally after he got the ball rolling. So, why else do this project? It's a way for us to not just be, "Hey, look at us, look at our music," but it's a way to bring attention to a good cause, which is the Connecticut Food Bank, which I think you'll see. There's a donate button underneath the video if you're watching on Facebook, and if you're watching on YouTube, I'll post the link. And the Connecticut Food Bank does good work, does great work, because a lot of people are hurting right now. A lot of people are struggling to get food on the table and to pay the bills, and so the Connecticut Food Bank provides food for most of the state, and we've already raised over $500. So please, as you're watching this video, if you feel so moved, would love to make a little donation. Click on the donate button. If you do it through their website, I'd love to drop me a line, just let me know that you did it. And Tom Brown asks, "Why on earth is there a saxophone behind you? Why are you looking at my bookshelf, man? That's private. What are you doing in my house?" My wife Megan teaches 4th and 5th grade band, and if you could see better, you also see there's several other instruments sort of sitting on that bookshelf. We got a clarinet back here. I got a cornet, actually. Here you go, Tom. There you go. There's some cornet. Oh gosh, I didn't plan on doing that, but it seemed like the right thing to do. Some of the challenges involved in this project, musically, obviously, when we play together, as a band, in real life, we listen and we adapt to each other and we react. And I think that's one of the great things about the New England Big Band is the way we have a sense of shared energy and cohesion. Obviously, when we play together, we play a part at home in everyone's houses and they record a video. They don't hear the rest of the band. As we went, I sent them a file that originally it was just, and they just played along with it. And then as I recorded the drum and bass part and the trombone, my part, I sent that along to them, and then they could play along with that. But musically, it was a weird playing in a vacuum, a weird situation. But I wrote the tune kind of with that in mind, that it was made that maybe I wrote in a few extra dynamics and articulations and sort of musical instruction. And if the players in the band see it and they play exactly as the page says and exactly the way that I know they're going to play it, which is awesome and perfect, then as soon as Dan Hendrix, who was our audio engineer and trombonist, lined up all the audio, just came together. It's pretty amazing. The technology behind it, there was some challenges too. I didn't want to say, hey, everybody go out and buy a bunch of stuff and microphones and gear and then so you can do this project, and I'm not going to pay you anything, and it's just for fun because it's something to do. I'm just going to say, I said, take a video on your phone and send it to me. Keep it simple. And so the audio on this recording is just, for the most part, recorded on phones. Some of the guys already had microphones and recorded with that, like a drummer, the bass player, me, a few of the other guys. So, but it's amazing when everybody plays really well and you put it all together and you have a great audio engineer to do some tweaking with it. Man, I just couldn't believe how great it sounded. Getting the recordings to line up, so everybody sends you videos. Dan took the audio out of it, and then you had to line it all up because you're just playing kind of out of nowhere. And then the video editing, which is a massive project, was 19 separate video files, and then Tom had to manage it into all these kind of just a lot of files. I had a plan, came up with a creative idea, which I'll show you more about it later. Another challenge was, how do we connect with the audience? We can make a video, but what good is it if nobody sees it? Well, it's still a lot of fun to make, but I wanted to make it more of a thing, an event, so I put together this live event. And then figuring out how to do that was a whole nother thing. So it's been a lot of tinkering, and I have, since the band has not played in real life for a while, I took in all my microphones and my mixer and all my gear out of the garage, which is where it usually lives, and I connected it all together here in my office studio. And so I've kind of figured out how to make some of this stuff work. So connecting with the audience, I made this live event. I've been kind of hitting up Facebook a lot and doing social media posts, YouTube. This is also streaming on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And then another way that I wanted to connect with the audience was to tell the story behind the process. So I'm going to tell you how this all kind of went through. Some advantages to this whole thing. If you are in a band like the New England Big Band and you go into a studio and you record, you'll maybe play each tune 2 or 3 times, and then we'll listen back and we'll pick the best take, and then we'll kind of tweak it and edit it from there. But everyone plays it together at the same time. When you record your part at home by yourself, you can play it as many times as you want until you get it exactly like you personally want it. And so as I was listening back to each player's video and audio, I was like, nobody missed a single note. It was all exactly right. So it was kind of cool that everyone could just sit at home and just practice it and then play it until they got it just right, and it shows. So it's interesting how that can happen now. Imagine trying to describe that to somebody like, I don't know, 50 years ago. Hey, we made this recording and we were all at home. Like, wow, that's crazy. Another advantage is that geography doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't have to be at the same place. We could be anywhere on Earth, really, as long as there's internet. So I actually called up one of my friends, Matt Jefferson, who plays the trombone, who lives in Nashville. And I was like, hey, we play. So we added a fifth trombone just because, hey, geography doesn't matter anymore. So I would like to tell you now about the whole process. As I mentioned before, it's actually Tom Brown's idea. And he sort of planted that seed in my head. And I was like, I got to write a new tune. I'm not going to just record a tune we've already done. So I figured I have to start with a new tune. And I felt as I mentioned before, some kind of like pent up creativity, and it all happened very fast. Within 9 days, I finished the tune from beginning to end. And there have been times where I've sat on a tune for years and never finished it. I got several of those sitting in some notebooks over there. So it was cool to have a real goal. I'm going to write this as fast as I can and get this out there. And the tune is 4 minutes long, just under 4 minutes, and it's 19 musicians. So normally the New London Big Band is 17 players. That's 5 saxes, 4 trombones, 4 trumpets, piano, bass, guitar, drums. Occasionally vocalist, but not counting vocalist, that's 17. I added 2 extra players. As I mentioned, my dear friend Matt Jefferson in Nashville played the contrabass trombone, which I'm very excited about because I've never had contrabass trombone. I've never seen it in any big band ever. So I knew he had one, and he's been playing it he plays on movie soundtracks and video game soundtracks, that kind of thing. And he got this instrument because they're always asking for it. And it's like, can you play it in a big band? I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I also convinced my wife to play flute because I was really excited. I wrote a flute part. I was like, Megan, please play on it. She's like, yeah, I'll do it. Something interesting, I think a lot of people always ask as a general thing about writing new music is, did you write the melody first? Did you write the chords first? And a lot of times it's kind of like, well, I kind of did the same time. In this case, the chords came first. I knew exactly the chord progression I wanted to use, which is based on it's a totally, I'll say borrowed, everyone's borrowing it. Chord progression based on the tune is Doxy. I play it all the time. I love improvising over it. It's just like a upbeat kind of good vibes sound to it. So that's exactly the sound I wanted the tune to have. So I had the chords in mind. I loved playing it, so I wrote the melody based on the chords. I wrote it on the piano, as I wrote most of the stuff sitting down at the piano. But in this case, I actually played a lot on the trombone too, to see what kind of flowed right. And as I wrote it, I'd play it, and it's like, that kind of is kind of awkward, so I would adjust it. The tone of the tune, as I mentioned, is I think it's upbeat, it's feel good. It's there's nothing dark about it. It's just real good times, and that's what I was going for. I mean, that's the vibe I always want in general with the New London Big Band, especially now. I want to just send out to the world this tune, this feel good tune. The title, I love the title, Meatspace. That's that word means the opposite of cyberspace. So here we are in cyberspace, whatever that is, computers and stuff. Meatspace is in real life, and it's MEAT. It's like flesh, so you have to be in the flesh. So this is kind of a longing for Meatspace to play together again. So I wrote the tune. Then the next step is to send the parts to the band members to record. So I sent them a PDF of the music, each part. So there's 17 different pieces of music. Each one was like 2 to 4 pages. And where was I? And then I also could send it to Matt in Nashville. Geography doesn't matter. I said, can you record your tune with the video on your phone and just listen with the audio in your headphones, because everything has to be at the same tempo. So they have a click track. After we got all the videos and audio collected, I put them in a folder and I shared it with Dan Hendrix, trombonist, who also did the audio engineering. And as we got the files kind of keep coming in, he would put them in his software, Pro Tools, and he would mix it. And then Tom Brown did the video editing, which was a massive project. And he took all those all those files and put it together in one thing. And you also have to line up all the video, audio, and then once you finish the project, you take the audio track that Dan mixed and put it in the file, so you see the video and then you hear the high quality audio. After that, finished the project. We finished it like, I don't know, 4 days ago maybe. I wanted to promote it. I want to share it with the world. I connected with the Connecticut Food Bank. So by the way, please consider donating to the Connecticut Food Bank. Then I shared it on Facebook, all kinds of Facebook posts. I put it on our website. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please go to newlondonbigband.com. I kind of outlined the whole process on there if you want to see some pictures. And then I sent out a press release. I was hoping to get some media coverage. I haven't heard anything yet, but we'll see. I got a video from Lou Baccarelli, who's I see on Facebook asking, "Where is you bass at?" I asked him to play Social Hour and take a video of him, and I'm going to do that later after I finish talking. And you're going to see on the screen, half the screen is going to be him playing that video, and then the other half is going to be me playing it right now live, which I'm really excited about. I haven't seen anyone do this yet. So it's live me, and then it's last week Lou. I think that's going to be fun. I put together behind the scenes video, which I'm going to show you later. It's going to be pretty fun. I also released this track as a single. It's in the works, but once it's been sent out to all those streaming services, so on Spotify and stuff, you'll be able to listen to Meatspace. The audio was so good. As soon as I heard it, I was like, I was blown away. I was, by the way, so Dan Hendrix is mixing the audio, and he sent me the completed audio track, and I looked at the email and it said it was finished at like 4:45 a.m. So I think I've heard a lot of my friends talk about how their sleeping schedule has been just totally flipped and they're staying up really late. I think Dan was doing that, obviously. So I woke up in the morning early because I have kids and they wake up first thing when the sun rises. So I have to get up. And I listened to that track and I just couldn't believe it. It sounded so good. I was just even way better than I could have imagined that a bunch of phoned in recordings could sound so good all together. So it sounded so good that it's like, well, we gotta send this out to the world audio only too. So it's gonna be on Spotify and Alexa or the Amazon Music, all that stuff. So I think if all goes according to plan, say Alexa, play New London Big Band, and then boom, you can hear Meatspace. And then I plan this whole live event because I feel like it's another way for us to connect. I can see all the comments on here. It's fun to have all this stuff going on. Do I see all the comments? Anyways, I got a lot going on my computer. I'm trying not to get distracted. And then the technology involved behind this. There's a lot to figure out this software. I'm talking this microphone. I'll give you a tour of my office in a second. There's a lot of different pieces of equipment and pieces of software that I had to figure out how to make them all talk to each other. I also figured out, as I mentioned before, I'm going to play along with Lou on the bass, and I had to figure out how to make that work. And at first I thought it's not going to work because the audio wasn't lining up and there's a delay. But I did. I'm super excited to share that. I also figured out how to do what we're doing on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time. By the way, I just want to mention, if you're watching on YouTube, please go like us on Facebook, facebook.com/New London Big Band. If you're watching on Facebook, please check out our YouTube page. I'll have to figure out how to do a post, but and then also would love to, if you're interested, sign up for our email list. I'll post. See if I did that. All right, I just posted it on Facebook and post on YouTube. Our email list. Send out the occasional emails. It's a good way to keep up with what's going on. and our website, newlondonbigband.com. So, as I mentioned before, the Connecticut Food Bank, we're supporting their mission. They cover most of Connecticut, including New London County. They work with 600 partner programs that distribute food all over the state. So in Connecticut, 15% of children are food insecure. They don't know. They're worried about the food. They're not sure where the food's going to come from. 270,000 people in Connecticut struggle with hunger and food insecurity. And that was before the pandemic. And right now it's pushing another 187,000 Connecticut residents into food insecurity. So a lot of people are having trouble getting food on the table. And the Connecticut Food Bank gets food on the table, no questions asked. They're there to provide food. And with this pandemic, there's lost wages, there's more difficulty accessing enough food, an increased reliance on food banks. So there's school closures, job disruptions, there's a lack of paid sick leave. There's a disproportionate impact on the elderly and low-income families. So this is a real problem for a lot of people. So last year, the Connecticut Food Bank distributed to 22.5 million meals last year. So if you decide to donate, $40 will feed one person for a whole month. That's $40 with one person for a whole month. So a little bit goes a long way with the way that they have it set up. It's very efficient. So please consider the Connecticut Food Bank. So I'd like to talk to you now about composing Meatspace. I mentioned before I started with the chords and decided to come up with a melody. So thanks for donating, Brooke. I got Sebi on here. Sebastian Jacco from the Hartford Jazz Orchestra, lead alto. So I'll show you a picture of the sketch, which is, I know it's a real mess, and that's what it looks like. You can see I wrote the melody, and I rewrote the melody. It came together fairly quickly, and I wrote the form of the tune, which is the top center, and the number of measures, what happens in each section. I actually transcribed, see the top right is another tune that I love playing. I transcribed the form, just the number of measures, kind of what happens, and sort of modeled it after that. Actually, the top left is the oboe solo in Social Hour for our orchestral version that we did back in February of the Eastern Connecticut Symphony, unrelated to this tune. But so anyways, if you're curious, that's kind of what it looks like as I'm sketching. That was just the first page. It came together so quickly that I actually didn't have to sketch much. It just kind of came out. So I'll show you now what it looks like finale. I'm sure you probably can't see it very well, but I have a really big computer screen, so it's easy to see the whole score. And no, I don't have good eyes. I have very bad vision, but I have good vision correction, so I can see all the notes. And that's what it looks like. Finale is the software, and it's kind of like it's like Microsoft Word. It's not going to write the music for you, but you can put all the notes in, and it will play it back. So it's in some ways it's pretty amazing, but it sounds soulless. But it will tell you the notes and rhythms. So there's a little bit behind Meatspace. All right, now I want to play a little bit for you. So here's sort of uncharted territory for me. This is last week, Lou Baccarelli recorded this last week. He played Social Hour. I did a quick arrangement of this where I'm going to play trombone live, and he's going to play bass last week. And Social Hour is our theme song for the New London Big Band. It's the first tune we play at all our gigs, and so it felt right to play it again. Which, by the way, if you tuned in before 8 o'clock, you saw the title screen, and the background music was Social Hour. That was from our that was actually our studio recording that hasn't been mixed yet, so don't listen to it too closely because it's got some things that need to be fixed, but I wanted to share it anyways because it's fun. So anyways, here is Social Hour, me and Lou. Just give me a second to get set up. Thank you, Kenneth, for your donation. All right. All right, just give me a second to get this ready. All right, there you go, everybody. All right, there you go. That was a live performance with a pre-recorded video. How cool is that? How about Lou Baccarelli on the bass? By the way, did you see his room? I think he had a bunch of basses behind him. We see that again. Look at all those basses. You kind of can see them. There's several more. All right, anyways. I would like to now give you a tour of my office. Let me see if I can do this. All right. right, here we go. See if I can. All right, switch over. Here we go. All right. I'll try not to get seasick here. So here's my desk. I got a keyboard there and a keyboard in front of it. So I have, you notice here is my mic, and I was actually, you'll see my phone was over there, which I'm using, what I'm holding, my secondary camera. The mics, I'm talking to this mic, and that mic and the mic I played my trombone to was going into here, which is my mixer. It's being controlled through my iPad, which is off, but and it's going into my interface. You can see it blinking as I speak, and that goes into my computer. And I got a lot of windows open, and that's the software I'm using. Whoa, okay. And some stuff on my wall here. I got my degrees. Sam Houston State University. I got my bachelor's degree in music education. And University of North Texas, I got my master's in classical trombone. And there's my recital flyer there. Played 4 trombones, 4 different trombones on one of my recitals. I got some awards. Here's my Aretha Franklin set list. That was pretty cool. I got to play with her at Mohegan Sun. What was that, 2017? Winner Best Jazz Band, Connecticut CT Now. That's a Hartford Current New London Big Band. That was 2018. I got my Bill Waters Jazz Festival. I performed there last year. That was the first time getting in the newspaper in the day, New London Big Band, and that was the 2017. We just played a few times. After that came out in the paper. That was our 4th gig. It was came out a couple of days before our 4th gig. And it was just packed. It was wall to wall. I remember the mayor was there. It was just really cool. So by the way, it shows you people read the paper, and some people say, what's going on with newspapers, but yeah, it's right there. Got my Texas license plate. Got my Coast Guard uniform in case I need to make some videos. I can try to give you the whole view right here. This used to be our oil tank room, and then we converted to propane. And then after that, got our basement finished. And so this is the space I've always wanted. It's such a cool studio. I can practice here late at night too, and nobody, everyone's asleep, and nobody can hear me. So it's great to be able to do that. Dry erase board. I got a lot of doors and bookshelves and saxophones. My wife saxophones and trumpets and clarinets and I don't know where the flute is, but and I got lighting too. So you're gonna do it, gotta do it right. So all right, I'm gonna switch over there. There's my office. Okay. So my wife Megan, as you can see in the comments, she teaches 4th and 5th grade band. Obviously, she's teaching from home, and she uses this space when she teaches too. And so it's nice for her to be able to use this too. I know she likes it because she gets to use this microphone and the lighting and the nice computer. So I'm happy to share it. The flutes are hiding. She has many flutes hiding right now. All right. I would like to show you now a little bit behind the scenes. I put together a video, and you're going to hear from several of the band members about kind of their role in the process and all that. So here we go. Behind the scenes.
So a couple weeks ago, I approached Sean about doing a project like this with the idea of making a remotely recorded video that's different than anything out there right now. He had a wonderful inspiration for a composition and sketched that out really quick, record time, I think. And I immediately started thinking of circles, which nobody's really doing. Everybody's got squares, the whole screen's filled up. And I thought the circles was a better idea. It kind of mirrors the bubbles we live in now with this pandemic that's happening, and it creates some separation. There's some dead space in the background, and I just think it's a little bit more fun to look at, and it's just kind of off the beaten path a little bit.
It was a tricky thing to do. It was the first time I've had to do something quite like this, where most of the audio was captured through people's phone cameras, and then I had to convert it to audio files and make it sound decent. So it was a challenge, but it was actually not as bad as I thought. We each had to record our parts, on our own with a click track, with earbuds or headphones, but we weren't in the same room. So to try to get everything lined up and in time and in tune could be tricky, but surprisingly, when I got everything imported into the computer, it was pretty much there. I mean, everyone did such a great job making sure their parts were just right, so I didn't have to do a whole bunch of editing, which was really nice.
I'm using Premiere Pro to do all the editing. There's 19 different clips. This took a long time. I had to sit down with the 19 clips, line up the audio, color correct each one, and I had to go and change the color to black and white when the players weren't playing and color when they were, and cropped each of the clips into circles, and then I had to arrange them into different scenes, which was a bit of a complicated mess. You can see some of my screen over here, where all this comes from, what I'm doing here. There's just circles everywhere of all different configurations.
I was really excited to be part of this project because it's been kind of lonely in quarantine, so it was really nice to have this chance to have a project with a lot of musicians that I really love playing with, and I've really missed playing with the big band, so this was a great opportunity.
One of the coolest parts of this project would have to be having 5 trombones, including a contrabass trombone, which was really awesome. It just sounded so fat.
I am not a regular member of the New London Big Band. I actually live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I know Sean from our days in college at the University of North Texas. And he actually had me up in Connecticut to film the project, and I'm working on getting some of those edits turned around. The band sounded awesome, and when he asked me to throw some contrabass trombone on there, I was super excited because I've never played contrabass trombone in a big band setting before. This is the contrabass. I'm about 6'3", and this guy stands probably about 5.5 feet tall, so it's pretty big. Because typically in Nashville, what they use contra for is like kind of loud, low, rumbly, aggressive, kind of powerful, violent kind of music, right? Whether it's for a movie or a TV show or a video game. That's typically what it's for. So to have a chance to play it in kind of a different capacity was exciting and kind of scary, actually. I found that playing this kind of agile music, which sounds stupid, kind of embarrassing compared to what saxophones and trumpets play, but it was agile for me. And to play that kind of stuff on the contra was actually a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be, given the how big the instrument is.
Getting the chance to hear just how awesome each member of this band is. I mean, I've always known how good everybody was, but this just set my respect for the rest of the band on a whole other level. So
I miss making music with the band. The band is like a family, and we haven't been able to make music in a while because of the situation. So I miss making music with the band, and any way that we can do that is something I'm always looking forward to.
I was really grateful for the chance to play, and I was really grateful that I could record it at home because I could make some edits and some redos and punches because I used all those. So
this is to raise money for a good cause. I mean, that's something that we need more of, people that are willing to give of their time.
I also was really excited that it's a fundraiser for a really great cause. So all around, just a great opportunity to be a part of a wonderful project. So I love playing with the New London Big Band, and I can't wait to get back and do it in person again soon.
I mean, it was a blast doing this project. I can't wait to hear the final product. And I look forward to the day when I can get back and play, with the New London Big Band again, live and in person. But until then, everyone enjoy this that we just put together.
Hope this is cool, Sean. I'm starting to ramble, which you said was good and encouraged. So if you see my eyes drifting over here, it's not personal. I'm just feeling super awkward. So love you, dude.
Looking forward to releasing the video, and hope you guys enjoy it. So take care.
That's all, folks.
All right. Behind the scenes, Meatspace. How about that double C at the end, that high note? That was Don Clough on the lead trumpet. What's next? So I hope you enjoyed hearing a few clips of the audio and seeing, you can see Dan Hendrix's studio in Springfield, Massachusetts. And I'd like to next talk about the Connecticut Food Bank once again. It looks like currently we have $395, and that's in addition to $520 that we've gotten in over past Facebook posts. So we're actually getting really close to $1,000, so please consider donating. $40 will feed one person for a month. So a little bit goes a long way with this donation. And if you do it over Facebook, you can get a receipt, and then I believe it's tax deductible. So if that helps. So the Connecticut Food Bank distributed 22.5 million meals last year, and they go to 600 partner programs all across Connecticut, including New London. So this hits close to home, I think, for everybody. So if you want to help out the world, help out people that need it, Connecticut Food Bank's there to provide food, no questions asked. So here's a little video. Tyler, the double C made my whole day. Yeah, it's actually spelled D-U-B-B-A, double C. And it's funny because that's a ridiculously high note that I've never put in a piece of music before, and I don't expect anyone to really put trumpet players to play it in real life. But when you're at home and you can just do it until you get it right, I was like, well, I'll just put it in there, and then he can, if he only has to record it once, right, and then we'll put it in there. And so he recorded the I'm gonna out him a little bit, but he recorded the track and he didn't get the note right on the whole track, and he's like, well, I'll just send you the separate file. And so he sent me an audio track of him playing like 10 double C's in a row. I was like, wait, over and over again, and then I just took the best one and we dropped it in there. So it's amazing what you can do with studio and technology and stuff, and it sounds great. I love it. I love the sound of it. There's actually 2 double C's in this tune, so the other one's actually behind the trombone solo. So sorry, Dan Hendrix is in Agawam, Massachusetts. Doesn't it have a funny zip postcode, zip code? What is it, like 01100 or something? It's like the first one. I think someone told me that. So anyways, the food bank is providing a lot of help to people that need it. And so here's a short video about the Connecticut Food Bank. Connecticut Food Bank, so please donate. Goes to a good cause. All right, Dan Hendrix informing me and Megan that is the first zip code in the country, 01001. That's Agawam, Massachusetts. Please add that to your brain as an important piece of trivia. And you probably forgot a password to an internet account now that you know that piece of information. So you're welcome. Thank you so much. This is kind of, I'll wrap it up here, and I'll finally show you the video that we've been hyping up the whole time. But I just want to say thanks for hanging with me and for the new one, the big band. This was a lot of fun. I've had thoughts of recording a whole album this way, not with video, but we get some audio tracks. I'll write write 9 or 10 more tunes and then send them at everybody's house, because I don't know when we're going to get to play together again, and this might be all we have. So if you're interested, let me know. Maybe we can do an album this way. And thank you for hanging and watching and commenting. It's fun. It kind of feels like we're all hanging out, listening to music together. And thanks to Tom Brown for the video editing, Dan Hendrix for the audio editing, Tom for the whole idea behind this project. Thank you to Lou for providing the bass line for Social Hour. And thanks to the Connecticut Food Bank for doing what they do. And see Colton on here. Colton, our band manager, provided some help with this project. So, and thanks to everybody in the band, obviously, for playing and recording and figuring out the technology, because it's not as easy as you might think. Even just to send a video over the internet requires some effort. So I appreciate everyone being a part of it. So, anyways, put a double G in the alto 2 part. You got it, Tyler. Double G. All right. Yeah, Megan. You'll see. Megan played flute on this, and I was like, "Well, here, I'll get you a really big beer to drink while you play the flute, and it'll be more fun." So make sure you get that beer on those next tracks. Without further ado, here is the pièce de résistance. This is Meatspace.